Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular governing board meeting of the Jefferson Elementary School District, May 28th, 2014, at 7:04 p.m. Could we have members present, please?
Joseph Ataidi.
Present.
Marie Brizuela.
Here.
Shaquille Ali.
Here.
Joseph Waters.
Here.
Rebecca Douglas.
Here. And before we move on to the pledge, I just wanted to acknowledge we're looking a little sparse down here. Mr. Vidalis is at his daughter's high school graduation, which I thought was a very legitimate reason for not being here tonight. And Ms. McCulick is ill, which will affect our agenda tonight as well when we get down to that. Ms. Hopkins, could you lead us in the pledge? Thank you.
You can always tell when a teacher, former teacher, does the pledge. It's always, you ready? Together, you know. It's cute.
We got it to orchestrate it.
It's reminded me of when you were teaching.
Okay. So that brings us to the approval of the agenda.
Madam President, I would like to,
Well, I want, when we get to the consent, I don't know, don't need to do that now. There's one I would like to remove from the consent agenda as well.
you mean the star.
Yeah, I want to remove the star from,
Okay.
from section 1, item 2.
Okay, so, all right.
But but we need, right now, we need to approve the agenda as a
Yeah,
whole.
I understand that. But I wanted to make sure that we
Right.
didn't sidestep it, because once before somebody commented that we should have done it earlier. Okay, so I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Wake up, wake up.
Need to pass the coffee around. Any opposition? Okay, that was unanimous.
Conversations.
Okay, communications. Do we have any comments from those of our administrators who are still standing?
No, I'll pass, thank you.
I do have a couple. Just realizing this is our last board meeting before the school year ends. So I do want to thank the staff at all our schools for all their hard work. It was a particularly busy year. And I want to congratulate the 8th graders who are being promoted to high school next week and wish them the best of luck. I know they're well prepared, so it should be a good transition for them. And I hope everyone has a relaxing and productive and safe summer.
Excellent. Board member acknowledgements and commendations. Mr. Waters, do you have anything tonight? Mr. Ali?
I just want to acknowledge the nice letter that I got from one of our students at FDR after I went to the Read Aloud?
Day of the Reader.
Day of the Reader, thanks. And then also, I was very impressed with, really, there's like almost a whole organic garden there now. That started from, I think, just a few vegetables, but now they have a bunch of vegetables and fruits and I believe chickens. So I was very pleased to see. And I remember that it started off at first as just a project to reduce the amount of trash at the school, and that was blossomed to this larger program. So just wanted to commend the school for that as well.
It's a glorious garden. Ms. Brizuela, you don't look like you're quite
I'm not
ready.
quite ready.
Okay, Mr. Otidy?
I want to thank the staff, administration, students, and parents for a great year, and we look forward to having another good year next year and have a safe summer.
No, I'll look at you until you're ready.
Okay, no, I know I left something at home, but, okay. Okay, so we had a very busy time here. Lots of things going on. First, I would like to say that congratulate we had 2 of our programs in our district that got Kent Awards this year. And as much as I tried to get down there, it was impossible to get down there. Had another big event with the PTA down at the Dolger Center, and they had their last meeting, awards meeting for schools and the PTA members. And they had something very special that night. They had, it's called, it's like a mob dance or something. Flash mob or something. It's something where first a few people come out dancing to music, and it was a song to it was lyrics to a popular song, but it was made to be PTA. And so first we had 3 moms come out, and they did their little dances, and then here came some children, some teachers, and some other parents and community members. Before you know, the place was, as we called it, rocking. And it was all saying it's all about PTA and every child with one voice, and how important it is that everyone gets together to help those children. And I want to thank everybody. I know Melinda was there, and Elaine too, dancing, carrying on. And it was really nice just to see all of that energy together. And I want to thank everyone who took part in that. And it was a really successful evening as well. And then I also attended the Student of the Year recognition at Colma Community Center, and it was great to see all the wonderful students that were chosen as a Student of the Year with their parents at a very nice buffet, breakfast kind of buffet. And then I also went to FDR and for the Day of the Reader and read to several classes, and I had such a really good time. But the books I read had a special message in it, and I was really happy to see the response of the students to those messages. And also was able to read to one class for special ed, and at first I thought, I hope I can do a good job, and it was so great because they were so responsive, and really, it was great reading to them. I enjoyed that one probably the most. And also attended the retirement party for Mary Moda. You know, she's worked in special ed for many years, and she really was the heart of special ed. She really did a lot for our district, and we're going to miss her tremendously. She is moving up to Oregon to be with her family, which she misses a lot. So, and we had many people who attended were former employees and former administrators that came to that. And I think there was one other thing. I know I went to the band at the band concert for TRP. They had the feeder schools. Great job they did there as well. We also had, we are missing tonight, unfortunately, the dance program at TRP, but it's on tomorrow night, so I'll be there tomorrow night. Then we did something else. What was it? I did go see the artwork that they had an art show up at TRP, and I saw some of the art there, and also was able to go to the library where they showed a lot of our students' artwork, which was really great. So I think I pretty much handled most of the stuff that I had gone to. I missed the carnival, I'm sorry. I wanted to go there too. Okay, so that was it for my traveling around town.
I think you hit most of the high points. We do offer congratulations to the Students of the Year and to all our retirees and the people getting their 5-year, 10-year, 15-year, up to 40-year pins for service in the...
I was there too. Why did I forget?
Sorry, I thought you mentioned that one.
No, I missed it. Oh, that was great too.
Yeah, always a fun time. Plus, like chocolate fondue. You can always get me with the chocolate, you know that. And there have been so many things going on in our schools this week, so many things with the arts. I certainly didn't make it to very many of them by comparison to the number there were, but just I want to give a huge acknowledgement to the people who've made those things happen. The opera at, I'm not even going to remember which school it was, at Thomas Edison, the art shows at schools, I'm not sure what all. I went and got sick right in the middle of all that and ended up not going to anything. But appreciate it. whether I'm there or not, doesn't really matter. What matters is that they had a great time, and they had some great programs, and our students are getting the arts.
Could I just make a plug for them? I did attend the opera, and it was fantastic.
Was good.
And the children write the lyrics to
Oh,
the
really?
songs they sing.
I didn't know
So
that.
it's besides just getting up there and singing, and of course, they're not doing opera, okay?
Right.
I mean, one girl kind of hit a few notes, but most of them are just
But they're
singing.
grade school
But they're
kids.
learning how to sing a dialogue for a show, and then they make their costumes, and they make some of the props, and it just, you just saw, and the teachers were phenomenal helping them, but they also have people coming from the opera that help as well. But all of it just came together, and it was absolutely fantastic. Second year they did, I told them they need to apply for a Kent Award. I just thought it was that good.
Definitely.
So, anyway, sorry I said it.
No, no, that's great, because I wasn't able to make it, so I'm glad to hear what it was. And I had no idea that they wrote their own lyrics, too. So they're hitting on all sorts of levels of the arts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This brings us persons wishing to address the board. I have a little pile here. And I'd like to call Carol Montiliano.
So my name is Carol Montiliano. I've been a volunteer in special day classes here in the district for 4 years now. I'm also working toward my early childhood teaching credential, and I'm co-parent to my now 6-year-old great-nephew Khalil, who has autism and attended preschool in this district for 2 years. So I just kind of wanted to share with you the experience that I've had with Khalil in the district. Khalil started out making great progress when he was in a class of less than 8 with support. Suddenly, when his teacher went out on an injury and the class size began to grow, he began to regress and develop some negative behaviors. As a result, he was suspended from class at least twice and excluded from the enrichment program without prior notice to his special ed teacher. I was informed of this inappropriately in front of other families upon picking Khalil up from the program, and I left in tears holding my nephew's hand while being consoled by other parents. I'm here today to advocate for a cap on special ed preschool and kindergarten classes, because I've seen the difference in quality that can be made when ratio is considered. I'm glad to say that my nephew is now in the Pacifica School District, where he attends a class with a ratio of 5 children and 4 adults, with a full-time OT, speech, and behavioral therapist. So he's doing really well now. So I just wanted to ask that you please keep special ed in mind when you consider the quality of education in our district. You know, don't forget about us. Okay.
Thank you very much for sharing that. Angelica Alonso.
Good evening. My name is Angelica Alonso. I have a daughter that was born 2004. In 2007, she was diagnosed with an extreme delay in spectrum of autism. In 2007, she started going to school and everything, and she's doing much better. However, I have noticed that the building blocks is not working in the system. These children are falling so behind, and it's so sad to see them, struggle day by day. But that's just my experience as a parent. In 2013, I started working for the district as a substitute. I started working with the older children and everything. There's problems there too, but when I started working with Mrs. Francisco's classroom in Westlake, I noticed that there's 10 children in that classroom, and some are so deep into the autism that you cannot teach them anything. It's just looking at an empty space. It's so hard to look at as a parent and to try to teach these kids. And I know you guys got beautiful stories about all the kids in school and all the great things you guys have done, but I'm sorry. When it comes to special ed, there's a lot of work to be done, a lot of work, because these babies are it just hurts to follow them and try to teach them just to say hello. And I was just hoping that this coming year that you guys don't forget about them as a mother, as a parent, as trying to teach them with the little bit of tools that I have. It's the best and more rewarding thing that I've done as being a parent, that you guys don't forget about them, because this is not going to end. Every year that goes by, there's going to be more children in the spectrum, in autistic. This is a melting pot of children that need a lot of help from you all. And we need to all work together as a family to help every kid that's in this district. And luckily, that this district right here is pretty small, that we can probably come up with a lot of ideas to help all these kids. Because if not, it's not worth the challenge. It's not worth sitting down in a chair and saying we have all these titles and everything when it doesn't work for our kids. Mrs. Francisco has kids that shouldn't even be in her classroom. They're like babies. They're tiny, tiny, like 3-4 months, and they're already 2 and 3 years old. We need something that we can, just do the best that we can, so we can at least have them being potty trained, because some of them are not potty trained. Some are even hard to be potty trained. It takes a long time to change them. By the time we're going to change them, we have another baby just running all over the place, taking off. So it's a lot of managing that we need. And the groups of children that we have and the ratio of teachers, it's just too small. We need more help. So I don't know if I made sense, because I get very, very overwhelmed on this. And I'm sure we all can do much better. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
And Crystal Updike.
Hi. It's pretty similar and parallel to the last two comments. I have a son. He's 5 years old. He was diagnosed with autism when he was 2. Started off at FDR and then transitioned over to Westlake. And so I don't know if you're familiar with autism, but some issues. When he started school, he was very happy to be there. He was smiles all the time. Would drop him off, and it was an exciting opportunity for him to have like some social experience. So as the autism progressed, more issues started to come up for him. So sensory issues, compulsive issues, anxiety issues, and so the setting just was no longer conducive for him, and so especially the ratio, the last parent talked about, the ratio being way too big. Devin's my only son. I have one on the way. But with him, it's constantly one-on-one. It's not something that I can kind of move away from. And fortunately, I'm also a high school teacher at SFUSD, and I've been able to transfer or try to transfer him over to a school that's autism specific, 4 teachers, 5 students, and trying to transfer him there without moving myself, just because I'm an employee for that district. It's just tough though, because I'm a part of this community, and so it's hard to have your own community not have the resources available for your son. And so as a high school teacher, general ed teacher, I know CAP is super important. For my general ed kids, if I have anything more than 25, I'm neglecting them, period. And so I can only imagine for the little kids with autism. And in a range, he's moderate to severe, but there's a range of levels of special needs in that classroom. And it was just hard to say goodbye, and I wanted him to stay in there. And I also get kind of concerned for the parents who can't transfer with the access that I have, and having a son on the way, not knowing if he's going to be under the spectrum or not, still wanting this to be a resource for myself. And so I know this is not time for the question part, but I'm wondering why there's no cap. And so,
Budget.
as somebody else from another district, I just start to assume there's no cap because of money.
Yes.
And so, but that just rubs me a little, I need to know a little bit more about that, whether I'm in this district or not.
You know, the fact that we have anybody come up to speak, it's not on the agenda, so we're not really engaged into getting into a lot of conversation, but
Sure.
I'd like to see this be on our agenda,
Okay.
so that we can talk about it.
Right.
And
We
can,
have a
as
hearing
group.
coming up about special ed and mental health.
Yeah.
Because our board members have expressed a concern in this
Yeah.
area, and we have been listening. And so we just need to make sure that everybody knows when that particular board meeting is, we're
Right.
going to have the public hearing.
Okay,
And invite
perfect.
all of you back.
And then we can answer questions and get into,
Yeah, I guess I just wanted to put the question out there,
Thank
not
you,
as a
though.
blame thing, but more of a,
Right.
no, we're glad you're here, we're
Yeah.
glad you're here,
thank you.
Appreciate all of you coming.
everybody.
And I think it would be not inappropriate to say that part of what we are and have launched is a study of how our entire special ed system is working. And it may seem frustrating to say, well, you're going to study it, but obviously we have to know what we need to fix before we can jump into fixing it. So, you know, just to offer that the district is aware and
Do
is
we have
beginning
that
to
date
act.
yet? Or are we just going to be waiting?
No, I think we have.
We have, yeah, I was going to say, I believe we do.
So-
We have contracted with it to have it done, and it is
Oh,
beginning.
you're having, yeah, oh, okay.
To- to-
Another person we contracted, okay. Don't we know by talking to our people and going to visit our classrooms what's going
Well,
on?
this isn't on the agenda, so.
I know.
But
Okay, fine.
the answer to that, of course,
You
is not
brought it up,
always.
so I just had to say it.
Well, there's a difference between anecdotal evidence and actually going in and studying it, so
Right.
we want to do the best job possible.
Okay, thank you. I also have a speaker card from Ms. Melinda Dart.
Good evening, Melinda Dart, AFT. I just wanted to report, I think I may have mentioned this before, but I'm going to say it again. A month ago, some of the teachers went to Sacramento to advocate for policies and legislation which helps education, which we do every year. And we took with us Nurse Sandy Linebarger. And so she testified that week before a commission on the need for more school nurses. And our California teacher just came out, and she's on the cover of it
right.
with a quote that says, "School nurse testifies 1.75 nurses for 6,800 kids is not enough." And of course, we all know that that is true, and I'm not. I know that I'm not saying anything new to you all. Part of the reason that we go to Sacramento to talk about these things, though, is that we know that the district cannot always bear the burden of the expense, even with our new funding. It does not bring us to levels where we can hire whoever we wish right now. So we were looking for alternate ways there to get more funding for nurses. And also, part of the legislation, it's called Healthy Kids, Healthy Minds, is to have libraries open later in the day and staffed by, well, the hope would be a certificated librarian during the day, but some kind of classified person in the afternoon, so that students have another safe place to be and a place to learn on their own terms. So we just wanted to make everyone aware of that, and we'll get copies of this for everyone. And also, I wanted to request, I wondered if we could adjourn today's meeting in memory of Tim O'Reilly, who is the brother of Mary Ann O'Reilly, our CFT treasurer and longtime teacher in the district.
Thank you, Ms. Dart. I made a note of that, so hopefully we'll get that correct. Do we have any correspondence from,
No, Mr. Vidalis did not leave
did
any
not leave any correspondence or anything?
Nor,
And
nor
is-
any comments.
I was going to say, nor is he making comments in absentia.
Smart.
Smart. Okay, that does bring us to the consent agenda. And as noted, we'd like to approve the consent agenda with the D-starring, if I can make up that word, of item 2 under section 1, general functions,
2?
the approval of the minutes.
Oh, okay. All right, that's the one I want. And then also I want number 3.
Okay, so we will unstar items 2 and 3. Okay, do we have a motion? Oh, I just made the motion. Do we have a second?
Second, so moved. Oh, second.
Okay, and this does need a roll call vote.
Mr. Otidy?
Aye.
Mrs. Brizuela?
Aye.
Mr. Ali?
Aye.
Mr. Waters?
Aye.
Dr. Douglas?
Aye. Okay. So I do have here revised copies of the minutes,
More revised than what we
more,
have?
not more revised than what's online now, but more, it was a change from the original.
That was what's in our packet here, it's not the same?
I can't answer that since I do it online. Mine changes when it changes. I'm not sure what you
Um.
have. The difference, I can explain here in any case.
Okay.
And so, that on advice of the county council, and let me take a couple of these for these guys, and if you guys could pass to anybody in the audience who would like one.
Is it, we have that in writing, the advice from the county council?
I don't have a copy of that advice now, but on the advice, let me finish what I was saying. On the advice of the county council, instead of just revising the minutes, it has been entered, the change has been entered as a footnote to clearly indicate that that was not part of the original meeting, and that why we need to vote again
Okay.
on the item about the Daly City Subcommittee.
Okay, now, first of all, it's not legal to go to a legal matter to be checking with the county council. Hope it didn't cost us very much money that we could have been used for something else. But may I just say this, comment, minutes, regardless of what agency it is, minutes are a transcript of either what was said or what action was taken from the moment the meeting began until the minute it adjourns. At no time do you put in any information that was found out later or discovered or decided upon about doing. The minutes are not to reflect anything that happened after the fact. So according to the minutes, it occurred after the meeting, so it doesn't belong there. The minutes stand the way they are, regardless, as far as being the minutes. If you want to say that we're going to put the item back on the agenda to act on it properly, that's a different story. But you're not going to change the minutes when it didn't happen.
And that is exactly why it was put in as a notation, so that somebody
It-
reading these minutes can know that we caught the error,
No,
thanks
no,
to your eye.
That's what we're doing now.
Right.
We're approving the minutes now. Now is the time that we look and say, whoops, this was not correct. Not putting into the minutes when that didn't happen. That's why you approve minutes, to correct anything that is not correct.
Okay,
It is not
but-
about saying, well, guess what? Now we got to do this again, because that wasn't said that night. I mean, do you understand what I'm
No,
trying to
I
say?
understand, and what I'm trying to say is that is why this is not put
I
in
have a
as an
degree
official.
that I got, that I went to a college.
May I finish
to
what
learn
I'm
to-
saying,
No,
Mrs.
but you-
Brizuela?
but you
Motion to take a break.
No, wait, you interrupt me twice, so I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you. I'm saying that, okay, I said what I had to say. Go ahead, say what you want to say.
Yeah, this was the recommendation, because what we have, the situation we have is that because of a lengthy discussion on an item between making the motion and getting a second, the same person, happened to have been me, seconded the motion as had made the motion. We simply wanted to make sure that it was clear in the minutes that we saw that that had happened, that although that does not in fact disqualify the vote that followed, that we are, no, it does not.
It does.
We have researched this.
It does. I want it in writing before we do anything with the minutes, because minutes are, that's why you say the time it starts, the time it ends. Nothing goes into the minutes.
So are you
that
making a
was not-
motion because you're saying what you want, but this is not
No,
about
it's
an
not what I want.
individual wants?
Okay.
You just said that. You said,
I'm
I
I'm
want.
unclear on what you want,
Well,
because...
you know what?
Are you making a motion is my question.
Yeah. Are you making a motion that we should not approve, I mean, are you suggesting
No,
we should not approve?
I thought this is, we're debating whether this is the right thing to do or the wrong thing, and minutes.
How many people are debating that?
Could I make a comment when
Yes,
You know what?
there's a chance to
I'm
do that?
sorry that I bring it up, because this is something that happened that was not correct. I think
Again, motion to
everyone
take a
knows it.
5-minute recess.
Second.
Okay, 5-minute recess.
Okay,
So
yes, we
you're
will take-
planning what you're going to say and do? Or what?
No, I think people just need to take a few deep breaths on this item.
Okay, well,
So,
um,
we will-
can
we
I
will
ask you a question?
Okay, we are reconvening at 7:38 PM. And I would like to make a motion that we,
Can we continue, there's more discussion? There's more items.
there's more items that you wish.
Can you just read what you have first? so I know?
What, you mean this?
Yeah, I am. That's what I wanted, you did.
I did read that. I didn't read it word for word.
Could you read it one more time?
Okay, this is a note from Mr. Vidalis. It says that as secretary, I, that is he, inserted a comment to the minutes as a footnote to indicate why we would vote on that item a second time. This revised format shows it as a footnote rather than an, well, he says rather than an asterisk. I think he meant rather than as an addendum, per county council advice.
So can I see what it says?
Mm-hmm. It's on the bottom, 120, the next page. No, turn over, actually, two more pages, 120. Right here. So here's the footnote down here.
I don't even have it. I didn't-
Okay, this one.
Sorry, I ran off with your,
Sorry.
your thing because I went and gave mine away. I couldn't
I
count.
kind of don't care, but
Uh-huh.
Okay, so, first of all, it doesn't explain what the true intent is. Says, it make it sound like you can't make a second, any motion. The way it's worded.
Well,
It makes it sound.
no,
Right.
it's clear that
It's not
Okay,
clear.
it's the second,
Not too clear to someone that hasn't been here and doesn't know what it means.
okay.
So.
Are we focused on the children? Are we focused on the children?
We are.
Okay,
And
so
we
let's go.
need to- We need to be doing the right thing so that we show them that we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, I
We
think
should be
there's,
role models for that.
So let's let the president do her job so we can move on.
So-
I'm saying that this is not, even the wording here should be changed.
you're right, there's something left out there
Exactly,
that
thank you.
doesn't indicate the seconding of a motion made by the president,
That's right.
Um,
That you don't make a motion and second the same
Right.
motion. And that doesn't say that, am I correct? I mean, do you understand what I'm saying about this? It's not clear.
Okay, it's
So
not.
we're gonna make a correction to make it clear, then let's make it clear.
Okay, so in that case, I mean, you do have a valid point about the wording of that footnote.
And then up above here, on the 1, 2, 3, 4th line, it says that there are 3 nominations and no seconds to either of them. Either would mean 2, so none of them. Change the word to none.
No seconds for any of them.
He said none. I wrote it down word for word. When he said it,
He said none, okay.
That's fine.
You know, we can, certainly, we can ask them to consult the recording on this item to make sure that that's word for word with how it was said in the meeting.
You can check. I've listened to it 3 times, so.
Is this
Okay,
something we need to table?
Okay, so, and this was said, after.
oh boy.
So, in other words, you are still not satisfied with the accuracy of the actual minutes. With or without the footnote on there, you do not believe that
I
the
think
minutes reflect
The
exactly
footnote,
what was said.
the footnote, in my opinion, did not happen during the meeting, so it shouldn't be there. The explanation, this footnote could be on the, tonight when we make the correction. You correct the minutes at the meeting following, not in the minutes, you know, you don't put it in the minutes as if it happened that night. Tonight, when we're doing it, in our minutes tonight is when we reflect under approval of minutes.
like I say-
That we change it, that we.
Is this something we should table?
This seems
At
like a
some point?
very minor point that,
You want to
like I say,
table
you're,
it, we'll table it till Mr. Vidalis is here.
well, it strikes me that you're saying that the minutes are still, I mean, the bottom line is you're saying the minutes are still not accurate because you believe that there is a word in there that is not as it was said in the meeting. Therefore,
Well, it's not correct to say
you
either.
cannot,
It's not correct. You're always changing things when it doesn't sound correct, so I'm trying to make it correct, okay? So, I'm
Fine.
not doing anything different than anyone else does.
Is there a motion being made?
right, so,
So then I would like to say that if you asked if you wanted it tabled, I don't care. believe that
Because at this
this,
point, it's not going anywhere. We need to either make a motion or table it and move on with the meeting.
would you like to,
I mean,
Discuss this
as far as I'm
privately
concerned,
and
the
do this?
one word that is inaccurate is a minor word that does not affect the meaning of the minutes in any significant way. As far as I'm concerned, the minutes are
Grammatically incorrect.
It's grammatically incorrect, so are some of the things that we say up here. The minutes are substantially accurate, in my opinion. I am perfectly willing to make an emotion to approve them.
Second.
and with the thing that didn't happen during the minutes?
With the footnote, the added explanation
Oh, my-
as recommended by county council, yes, I am willing to do that.
Okay, so you
So
second.
since we have a motion and a second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And all those opposed?
No.
Okay, we
It
have,
it doesn't matter if anything is true or not, you just, okay, so let me just say something else here, okay? I need to say something else for the minutes. You know, I had other things to say on the minutes, and you wouldn't approve them before I could go to another item.
I'm sorry about that. You
Well,
didn't speak up on
You need
that.
to, well, you didn't give me a chance. So I have some corrections on the other minutes. Do you mind if I make those corrections?
Well, that would require, I
Make
suppose,
a motion.
make a motion that you need
I
to
like
make further.
to make a motion that, what? No, I can't make the motion. I didn't make the motion. You've got to make a motion to undo it.
You can make a motion to further correct them, or, fine, I will make, what is the issue?
There's other corrections that I'd like to see in the minutes that I think are appropriate. Okay?
Wow.
You know, I have to say, why
Okay.
have these not been presented in advance of the meeting so that we can be prepared to deal with them?
I didn't get your revisions before.
I get that, but we got to make motions. and
Okay,
we have to
so
move on. We have
let's-
people here waiting, and they need
Okay.
to go home.
Let me read it. Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we make the following additional corrections to the minutes of March the 12th. Under special presentations, it said Rich Bruger, that he was present, that I said he was present. That I recognized him in the audience, but in fact, the additional comment was that he had been on the committee for Relay for Life for several years, which I was acknowledging that. Not just acknowledging him being in the room, but acknowledging that he served there, and he stood up with everybody. And I'd also like to note that I'd like to have in the minutes the names of the other speakers. There were two other
So are you giving
speakers.
work for the superintendent's secretary to do? Is that what's happening right
No,
now?
I'm not giving work. I'm saying
Because
that
we
the...
have YouTube videos that people can go and
Yeah,
look
I'm
at the
being
videos and
interrupted.
see for themselves
Yeah, Mr.
everything
Early.
that was said during the meetings.
Yeah, I take your point. We can allow Ms. Brizuela to...
When we are looking at the minutes, and we graciously like to note those people that speak before us, we do that. And I'm just saying it would be nice to list the names of the two young gentlemen that were on the committee that spoke. And I don't know that we acknowledged